Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we'll break down this game, highlight the key moments, and learn valuable lessons to help improve your chess. Caruana pushes the e-pawn into the center, claiming important territory, and beginning the battle with confident intent. Jaiveer answers with the French structure, building a solid defensive wall and preparing measured counterplay. Caruana advances the b-pawn, opening the long diagonal and preparing active bishop development immediately. Jaiveer captures the central pawn, gaining material and challenging Caruana to prove compensation. Caruana develops the queen to attack the captured pawn and increase central pressure at once. Jaiveer develops the knight naturally, strengthening central control and supporting future piece activity. Caruana brings out the queenside knight, adding support to key central squares and tactical ideas. Jaiveer develops the second knight, reinforcing the position and completing an important stage of development. Caruana castles queenside, securing the king while placing the rook onto an active file. Jaiveer develops the bishop, improving coordination and preparing to connect the rook soon. Caruana thrusts the g-pawn forward aggressively, signaling attacking ambitions against the kingside position. Jaiveer jumps the knight to d4, occupying an advanced outpost and creating immediate pressure. Caruana retreats the queen carefully, maintaining coordination while avoiding unnecessary tactical complications. Jaiveer's knight captures on g4, winning a pawn and grabbing material on the kingside. Caruana captures in the center with the knight, improving activity and challenging black's structure. Jaiveer withdraws the knight to safety, preserving the piece and maintaining defensive flexibility. Caruana develops the bishop to g2, activating the long diagonal and increasing board influence. Jaiveer exchanges, knights on f4, removing an active piece and reducing central tension. Caruana recaptures with the queen, restoring material balance and centralizing a powerful attacker. Jaiveer develops the bishop to f6, improving piece placement and reinforcing important defensive squares. Caruana advances the h-pawn, gaining kingside space and supporting future attacking possibilities. Jaiveer retreats the knight to chix, preserving the piece and maintaining control over important central squares. Caruana advances the d-pawn, strengthening the center and opening lines for greater piece activity. Jaiveer reroutes the knight to e7, seeking a more flexible defensive position for upcoming battles. Caruana develops the knight to f3, connecting forces and increasing central support. Jaiveer centralizes the queen on d5, improving coordination and watching both wings carefully. Caruana withdraws the queen to e2, keeping the position solid while preparing future operations. Jaiveer shifts the queen to a5, creating pressure along the queenside and probing for targets. Caruana pushes the a-pawn forward, securing space and limiting potential enemy expansion. Jaiveer develops the knight to d5, placing it actively in the center of the battlefield. Caruana jumps the knight to e5, occupying a strong outpost and increasing attacking possibilities. Jaiveer moves the knight to f4, creating threats and aiming towards sensitive kingside squares. Caruana centralizes the queen on e4, improving coordination and keeping tactical pressure alive. Jaiveer's knight captures on g2, winning a pawn and creating immediate complications. Caruana recaptures with the queen on g2, restoring material balance and maintaining activity. Jaiveer places the queen on d5, keeping central influence and supporting defensive resources. Caruana moves the queen to g3, eyeing the kingside and preparing potential attacking ideas. Jaiveer advances the b-pawn to b6, reinforcing the queenside structure and supporting development. Caruana pushes the c-pawn to c4, gaining space and increasing central influence. Jaiveer brings the queen to e4, occupying an active square and challenging white directly. Caruana places the rook on a4, strengthening central pressure and improving piece coordination. Jaiveer retreats the queen to b7, preserving safety while continuing to defend key points. Caruana jumps the knight to g4, increasing kingside pressure and bringing another attacker toward the enemy king. Jaiveer retreats the bishop to e7, reinforcing defenses and preparing to meet growing threats. Caruana drives the d-pawn to d5, gaining space and opening new tactical possibilities. Jaiveer advances the b-pawn to b5, seeking counterplay on the queenside before danger escalates. Caruana pushes the c-pawn to c5, locking territory and restricting black's piece mobility. Jaiveer advances the h-pawn to h5, creating luft and preparing additional kingside protection. Caruana repositions the knight to f5, centralizing the piece and maintaining attacking momentum. Jaiveer develops the bishop to f6, improving coordination and strengthening defensive coverage. Caruana jumps the knight into checks, planting a powerful outpost deep inside enemy territory. Jaiveer's bishop captures on b2 with check, winning material and forcing an immediate response. Caruana captures the invading bishop with the king, eliminating the threat and restoring balance. Jaiveer castles kingside, finally securing the king and connecting the rooks for defense. Caruana's knight lands on a7 with check, unleashing a tactical strike that rattles black's position. Jaiveer moves the king to h7, escaping the check while remaining under persistent pressure. Caruana lifts the rook to f5, activating heavy artillery and increasing attacking possibilities. Jaiveer advances the g-pawn to g6, creating breathing room and attempting to reinforce defenses. Caruana's rook captures on a5 with check, smashing into the kingside and exposing weaknesses. Jaiveer moves the king to g7, stepping away from danger but facing mounting problems. Caruana slides the rook to g1, aligning major pieces against the king and tightening pressure. Jaiveer searches desperately for defensive resources, yet every important line remains under white's control. After Caruana'S powerful rook deployment, Jaiveer resigns, recognizing the position is no longer defendable. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you in the next game.